All right, let's see what's on the list today. Yeah, that race. It did look incredible. Shoes. That's what I need. If I order the shoes, that's a good start. It's basically all it takes, right? Once they're on my doorstep, I'll feel like a runner. No miles yet, no sweat, but the shoes are on the way. That still counts. Ooh, and I'll post a picture of them when they get here. Hashtag runner. What's next? Oh, yes, that book. I have been needing to read more, to grow, to really learn. Everyone says this book is life changing. I just need to buy it. Even if it sits on the shelf, the knowledge will flow right out of the pages. I'll just move my desk a little closer to it. Knowledge with overnight shipping. Easy. That workout routine I saw. That's next. A strong body, more discipline. I can already picture it. I'll order the weights now. No push-ups yet, no crunches, but the equipment, it's on its way. I think those weights are working even now. I can feel it. I feel stronger. Shoes, books, weights. Runner, scholar, athlete. Just like that. I can feel the improvements already.
I'm not sure none of us relate to that, do we, right? I can tell by your chuckles that some of us do. I will admit, I definitely start more things just like that than I ever actually finish. That book part, in my nightstand right now are books that I have bought but have never read. And if you looked about 3 feet away from my nightstand, you would see an art print. It's laying on top of my dresser. I bought it from the artist in Florida on my 20th anniversary trip in April. It's been sitting right there for 5 months, just waiting on me to frame it and hang it on the wall. And then in the front room of the house, just inside the front door, is an 8-foot rug all rolled up, wrapped in plastic, leaning against the wall. It's also for my bedroom. It was a gift months ago. But actually putting that thing down, it's going to involve moving just about every piece of heavy, solid wood furniture in my room. So there the rug leans, not so gracefully, just inside the front door like an eyesore. We are so bad at this in my house that several times in recent years, what I've asked for Mother's Day was just to get all these little things done, like rugs down, curtains up, art displayed. The last time I asked for that, my husband said, "Can't I just buy you something?" Right? Clicking that button and having a gift delivered to your front door, that's easy. So is signing up for a 5K and a meal plan. But actually training for a race, actually eating all that healthy food and not eating the unhealthy food, those things are hard. Purchasing art and a rug and books is easy. Actually hanging it on the wall or situating it under furniture, actually reading every page is hard. It takes work, time, energy, effort, and mental headspace. But you know, the same thing is true of following Jesus. It takes work. Actually, following Jesus and putting in that work, it's an essential part of a life of faith, and it requires time and energy and effort and mental headspace. It does not just happen. It's not automatic. And I think that's a common misconception about being a Christian. It's not just about feeling moved by a song. It's not just about praying to give your life to Jesus, although that's a really important step. It's not just about all the good things, and there are plenty of them. I mean, The Son of God himself loves us, sacrificed himself for us, offers us an abundant life with him now and forever. It doesn't get any better than that. That is good news. That is great news. Jesus is the very best news. And following him really is the best life you can ever have. And it doesn't always feel great or even good. It doesn't just happen. It can be downright hard and lonely and painful. And that's why some people start a journey with Jesus but don't finish it. Others, they give their lives to Jesus in a prayer or maybe at baptism, but they stop there. And they don't finish just because they don't know any differently. They don't know what they don't know about following Jesus, but Jesus knew. So he told a story that describes this phenomenon of what it's like to start following Jesus but not finish. He said, a farmer went out to sow his seed. As he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path, and the birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky places, where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow. But when the sun came up, the plants were scorched, and they withered because they had no root. Other seed fell among thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. Still other seed fell on good soil, where it produced a crop 100, 60, or 30 times what was sown. Whoever has ears, let them hear. Now, the story's not really about farming. It's a metaphor for what happens when the good news of Jesus is shared. In some cases, the seed falls on the path, like hard, packed dirt, and birds eat it. Some of it falls in rocky places, where it springs up quickly, but then gets burnt up by the sun. Some of it falls in thorns that choke it out, and some falls on good soil, where it grows, produces, and reproduces. Now, good soil is clearly the winner, the thing we want to be in Jesus' story. Now, he usually lets these metaphor-style stories, we call them parables, just stand on their own and speak for themselves. This time, though, he gives us the gift of explaining his story. Let's see what Jesus says. Listen then to what the parable of the sower means. When anyone hears the message about the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what was sown in their heart. This is the seed sown along the path. An evil one snatches away the seed that is sown on the path. Oh, by the way, evil one, I think sometimes we see that and people think Satan. There are two Greek words that are most often translated Satan, but the Greek word that's behind this is neither of those. This word means someone who is morally or socially worthless. Synonyms for this are a wicked one or an evil one or a bad one. So I don't know, maybe this is someone who wants to keep you away from Jesus. They want to keep you from changing your life because they like your company. They want you to stay with them and keep being like them. So they snuff out or stomp on any interest you have in Jesus. Now, in the parable part in the story that Jesus told, with this seed, it was the birds that came and snatched it up, remember? Now that, I think I actually understand that a little bit better. The details are different. I am no farmer. I don't go out and plant a bunch of seeds, but I do get to help my mother-in-law with her vineyard. And when it comes to growing grapes, birds are the bane of our existence. You might not know, but birds love grapes, all grapes. I can personally vouch that our birds in this area enjoy Chardonnay and Merlot and several other varieties. In fact, the birds do so much damage that when the grapes really come out on the vine, we have to go to every field and painstakingly go down every row and cover it with nets, like from the ground on one side over the vines, which are taller than me, to the ground on the other to try to keep the birds out. But the birds still find holes. About 2 weeks ago, I was in the fields with my mother-in-law, and I noticed, and I said, there's a bird in the net, under the net. And she said, well, get in there and get it out. So I'm a compliant daughter-in-law, so I did just that. So I crawled up under the net. I'm really glad we didn't video this. And I'm trying to run down, but my hair's getting snagged on the vines all along, trying to wave my arms and make a bunch of noise to force a bird back out of whatever hole it found to get in. So I'm with Jesus. The birds are the evil ones who snatch up good things that aren't theirs for the taking, like really yummy grapes. Or more seriously, like the good news of Jesus, because that has the power to change someone's life. And it is hard to finish the spiritual journey with Jesus when an evil one is working to deliberately take it away from you. It's also hard to keep going when trouble comes. Jesus goes on to explain, the seed falling on rocky ground refers to someone who hears the word and at once receives it with joy. But since they have no root, they last only a short time. When trouble or persecution comes because of the word, they quickly fall away. With the rocky ground, there's instantaneous acceptance and joy, but it only lasts a short time. Unfortunately, I think this describes the spiritual journey of many, many people. It reminds me of the large evangelical rallies and conferences that were really popular in the 80s and 90s. Now, there's still some of this around, and there's some good that happens there. But what often happened was you'd go and hear amazing music and production level and compelling messages that took you on a very emotional journey. And it was all building to the end when an invitation would be offered and people would respond in huge numbers to give their lives to Jesus. I mean, even in huge venues like arenas, they would get people to leave their seats way up high and come forward. Then they'd take them backstage somewhere. They'd get one-on-one with a person who was trained to talk them through giving their lives to Jesus. Somebody like me. I know that because I was one. At the biggest youth rally in Central Virginia in the early 2000s, for years, I was one of those people that the teenagers would end up with when they responded to the call at the end. And for certain, lives were changed. People accepted the good news of Jesus. There was a lot of emotion and passion and so much joy. But for some, it didn't result in life change, just confusion. Maybe it's because they never got connected to a church, or maybe they were too young or too impulsive. They just didn't know what they didn't know about what it meant to actually follow Jesus. But for whatever reason, when they encountered trouble, they just walked away. Their spiritual journey flamed up and then fizzled out. Talked to a lot of adults who have some version of that story as part of their story. Maybe it wasn't a conference or a rally, but vacation Bible school, or even just a really great church service. And maybe it was longer than a one-time thing. They gave it a go for a season, maybe a year or two, even 5. And they were following Jesus as long as that preacher or that church was a good fit for them. As long as they were feeling good about it, as long as it was all going well. But their faith didn't grow roots. They never got firmly planted. And trouble of some kind, family or health or financial, or maybe even trouble at church came. By the way, I'm going to talk about church in a couple weeks. But if you're part of church long enough, trouble will come. We're just a group of humans trying to follow Jesus. We're still human. We will let each other down. It is just a matter of time. And those who don't have a really strong root system tend to fall away when trouble of any kind comes. And then they often end up confused. They don't know what it means. They prayed to give their lives to Jesus then, but it doesn't feel like it matters in their lives now. So they're often unsure. Like, am I a Christian or not? They tend to think so, but they're not certain. Not about where they are with Jesus or church or Christianity. Now this, PCC, this is a place where you can be unsure about where you are with Jesus and church and Christianity. It's okay to be there. And because we care about you, we don't want you to stay there forever. It is possible to be certain that you're a follower of Jesus. You can be sure about being part of a community of fellow followers of Jesus. We would love to help you find that confidence and put down roots. Because if it hasn't yet, trouble will come. We don't want you to fall away. And if trouble has knocked you down before, we would love to help you get back up and get planted again. We'd also like to help you with the next kind of soil Jesus discusses. The seed falling among the thorns refers to someone who hears the word, but the worries of this life and the deceitfulness of wealth choke the word, making it unfruitful. Another way that people start the faith journey but don't finish it is by becoming unfruitful. The worries of this life, there's no shortage of those, right? And the lies of wealth choke out and suffocate the truth. Even if there's still belief in Jesus and there's good intentions and there's a desire to follow him and live for him, it gets choked out by all the other stuff, by the commitments and the responsibilities and the burdens and the struggles and the lies of wealth. If you'll just focus on work, on your career, on business for a little while longer, you'll make it. Then you can focus on Jesus. That's not what following Jesus looks like. It's not one more thing you can do or not. Following Jesus isn't one thing on a list beside school, career, friendships, marriage, parenting, working out, taking care of your home. It's not a compartmentalized aspect of your life that can sit to the side while you focus on something else or everything else. It is the foundation under all of it. It's the cover over all of it. It's all the way through it. Following Jesus permeates everything, every season of your life, every area, every relationship. Faith in Jesus affects, influences, and infiltrates all of it. Or it should, at least. But a lot of people who begin the journey with Jesus, they stall out before they get there. Or they live like that for a little while. But when tragedy strikes, when worries mount, they just get swallowed up by all of it. I've seen this a lot. Maybe you have too. Good people who follow Jesus for a while. They get started, maybe even a good ways down the track. But then there's an illness or diagnosis. Maybe there's a promotion or a new venture or a setback or a loss. And the worries stack up. Faith in Jesus gets lost in the shuffle. The stress just smothers it. They still believe that Jesus is real, that he's God. They still believe all of that, but there's no more evidence of faith, no more fruit. Jesus, he has a lot of grace and compassion for that. He is with us when we struggle. And he has high expectations for us at the same time. Elsewhere, Jesus says, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross daily and follow me. For whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me will save it." If you want to follow Jesus, then you have to sacrifice what you want. Take up your cross, which is a heavy burden to carry. It's a sign of humiliation. And follow Jesus every day, every single day. Good days, bad days, best day ever days, terrible, horrible, no good, very bad days, as the kids' book says. Following Jesus is sticking with it no matter what. It reminds me of a man I read about recently, Eric Musombani, affectionately known as Eric the Eel. Now, Eric, he decided he wanted to be an Olympic swimmer. There were some troubles in his way, namely crocodiles and sharks. See, he lived in Equatorial Guinea, which is, as you might guess, on the equator, specifically on the western coast of Africa. Though there was plenty of water nearby, it was infested with big predators with really big teeth. But still, he did some of his practicing in those waters. Like fishermen in boats nearby would coach him along the way. Eric had access to one pool for 3 hours a week. That's it. Oh, and he took up swimming just 8 months before the 2000 Olympics in Sydney, Australia. But a wild card opportunity for developing countries got Eric his unlikely ticket to the Olympics. He had never been on a plane before. He'd never seen an Olympic-sized pool. He'd never even tried to dive, never jumped off the blocks at all. He had no coach, no goggles, not even a pair of swimming trunks. But he got to the Olympics, and he lined up in his heat, only 2 other competitors in his heat. Both of them left the starting blocks a smidge early. They were disqualified. So now, all eyes are on Eric, wearing trunks borrowed from another country, jumping into a pool unlike any he'd ever seen before. The world was cheering for the underdog. This was our Cinderella story. And Eric swam his very best, which put him in very last place, 71 out of 71, with the whole world watching. He'd overcome so many problems just to be there. He didn't give up when he realized he didn't look the part or act the part. He didn't give up when he was all alone with no support, no coach. He failed very publicly, but he finished the race. Jesus had all the abilities heaven could bestow upon him. But when he was on this earth, he ended up alone with no support too. His friends and followers abandoned him. He called out to God the Father, asking why he'd forsaken him. Jesus was nailed to a cross, suffering terribly in front of a big audience, and he kept going until it was finished. Following Jesus means doing what Jesus did. It means even when we're dealing with the worries of this life, we still follow him. And when we do that, when we accept the good news of Jesus and stick with it through the troubles and the worries, then we get to experience the life that Jesus wants for us. He describes it like this. But the seed falling on good soil refers to someone who hears the word and understands it. This is the one who produces a crop yielding 160 or 30 times what was sown. Following Jesus looks like hearing his word, understanding it, and then producing a crop. And we'll come back to that in just a minute. But before we look more closely at what this says, let's notice what it does not say. It does not say that the seed falling on good soil refers to someone who hears the word and understands it and keeps it to themselves for their own benefit so they can grow tall and strong and stand on their own, healthy and sturdy in faith. It doesn't say that because that's not how this works. Hearing the word and understanding it means that we hear and understand that it's not about us. It's not about our lives and what we want. It is all about Jesus and what he wants. And what Jesus wants is for the whole world to know him. So, truly understanding the Word of God necessarily means producing a crop. You cannot separate those ideas. They are inherently intertwined with one another. When you receive the good news of Jesus, you do not get to keep it for yourself so that you can live an abundant life that you feel good about, that makes you look good and upstanding and moral. Following Jesus means producing a crop that yields 30, 60, even 100 times what was sown. And of course, we're not talking about literal farming. It's a metaphor, and the crop we produce is more valuable than the highest priced cash crop. It is about 30 people around each one of you seeing Jesus in you and wondering how they can get the grace and the love and the hope that you have. It's about the 60 people around each of our campuses who are looking for someone to come and meet their basic needs, who will do good and be the change that they need. It's about the 100 people around every one of our campuses who are looking to connect with a church, who are wondering if God is real, if God's for them. Following Jesus means taking what you've received and sharing it with all of them. You know, the Sydney Olympics were Eric the Eel's first and last games. He returned home to his family, to his day job. His swimming career ended. But his country now has 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools, the kind he'd never seen until he got to Sydney, Australia. And although his career is over, he became the coach of the national swimming team, sharing with others what he had received. Because it wasn't about him or his moment in the spotlight or his career. It was about broadening the world for others around him, giving them a chance to go to places they never would have gone, to see things they never would have seen, to become people they never could have imagined. That's what happens when you focus not on yourself, but on producing a crop 30, 60, 100 times greater than what you've received. That's what it means to follow Jesus. He wants to send you to places you've never been, to conversations you've never had. He wants you to see people and problems like you've never seen them before, like he sees them. He wants you to become someone you have never imagined and someone you cannot become on your own. And he wants you to give that same opportunity to everyone around you. If you've made a decision to follow Jesus recently, we are so excited for you. And we want you to hear from the very beginning, there will be struggles. There will be lies that try to distract and derail you. You're still going to worry about life sometimes. Keep going. Keep coming. At the end of this series, there will be a whole week on how to follow Jesus, what things to do so that you can understand the good news of Jesus and put down roots. If you've never made a decision to follow Jesus before, then we're really glad that you're here. Ask your questions. Explore who Jesus is. Explore who you are. And when you're ready to make a decision, please let us know. We want you to have certainty about who Jesus is and who you are. And if you resemble the scenarios I painted earlier, maybe you prayed to give your life to Jesus at some point in your past, but you're not sure what it means now. Or if you know you gave your life to Jesus, but life's gotten in the way and it's suffocated the faith out of you, today can be the day you find certainty again. You can leave here knowing that you are back on track. This last song is an opportunity for you, really for all of us, to turn our focus to Jesus or back to Jesus? If you've ever made a decision to follow him, then the words of this song might resonate. Because we all have times when we've just gone through the motions of following Jesus without understanding it or meaning it. Sometimes we slide back into making it about ourselves, our goals, our desires, what we want to do, who we want to be. And we approach Jesus asking for more and more things and more blessings, forgetting all the grace, all the love, all the hope he's already given us. Before we leave today, spend just 5 minutes in the presence of Jesus. Let yourself get lost there. Remember what that's like to get caught up in him. You can sit at his feet. You can stand with your arms open to him. Just get back to the place where you just want Jesus. Nothing else, no one else.
I'm caught up in your presence, and I just wanna sit here at your feet. I'm caught up in this holy moment. I never wanna leave. Oh, I'm not here for blessings. Jesus, you don't owe me anything more than anything that you can do. I just want you. Oh, I'm sorry when I've just gone through the motions. I'm sorry when I just sang another song. Oh, take me back to where we started. I open up my heart to you. Oh, I'm sorry when I've come with my agenda. I'm sorry when I forgot that you're enough. Oh, take me back to where we started. I open up my heart to you. Oh, yeah. Caught up in your presence, I just wanna sit here at your feet. I'm caught up in this holy moment. I never wanna leave. Be with you. And oh, I'm not here for blessings. 'Cause Jesus, you don't owe me anything more than anything that you can do. Oh, I just want you. I just want you and nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else will do. I just want you and nothing else. Oh, nothing else. Nothing else will do. I just want you. Oh, nothing else. Oh, nothing else, Jesus. Nothing else will do. I just want you. Oh, nothing else. Nothing else.
The decision to follow Jesus with your whole life is an all-encompassing one that we get to be a part of, whether we're starting today or have been on this journey, as long as we can remember. Wherever it is you are, know that when you fully commit yourself to Christ and following him, taking up your cross daily, we then get to live lives that produce all kinds of great fruit, 30, 60, maybe even 100 times more than we could on our own. And it's all because of the power of Jesus Christ. If you want to follow him today, then please reach out to me. Send me an email. Let somebody in the chat know right now, and we can get connected. I would love to talk to you about that and pray with you and help give you a next step on your journey. If it's something that, again, you've been doing a while and just have forgotten or drifted away from, that's okay. That happens to all of us. But let's also speak. Let's talk, and let's get you back on the right track, because there is nothing better and really nothing else that's worth your time. Thank you so much for being here today. We look forward to seeing you next week with a friend, so invite them, and we'll see you both then.